Hello everyone, this is Myles again from Campus Recreation. Thank you so much for tuning in for today's beginner headstand tutorial. So what we're going to do is start with some base poses on the floor, then move into kicking up into a headstand against the wall, and then eventually hopefully hovering right over the wall into that headstand position. But before we get started, I just want to talk through some tips and benefits of headstands themselves. So as we move through these headstands, we really want to focus on stabilizing the neck and head. We will be standing on our head. So when I talk through the stabilization and the base pose, we really want to make sure that we all have a comfort in that position because it can be a little different for everyone. We also want to make sure we never kick up against the wall or just swing our legs. This is a more core focused exercise with stabilization of the upper body and head. So we don't just want to start kicking up, really walking it slowly before stacking those hips on top of each other. This is not a beginner pose. It's more advanced, so the exercises I go through today, you're going to want to take into your practice on your own and then slowly bring back until we can work up to that full headstand position. It is a slower process and don't rush it. So some benefits of headstands, it revitalizes the body. We're taking our head below our heart so that blood is going to our mind and through the brain. It also readjusts the spine, the neck, and the head. And it also just shifts your perspective. So new opportunities, new ideas, and just really boosts the mood. So let's have fun and let's get started.
Drawing down through your heels and straightening your legs, your feet are grounded firmly into the earth and the ground, pressing evenly across all four corners of your feet. Lift your ankles and the arches of your feet and squeeze your outer shins towards each other's. Draw the top of your thighs up and back, engaging the quads, slightly tucking the tailbone down and bring your pelvis into a neutral position. And draw your belly button in slightly. As you inhale, elongate through the torso, and exhale, releasing your shoulder blades down away from your ears toward the back. Broaden your collarbones and keeping your shoulders in line with the sides of your body. Elongate your neck. Your ears, shoulders, and hips and ankles should be all in one straight line. And keep your breathing smooth and even. This is mountain pose. With your middle finger pointed towards the top of your mat and your hands spread wide, fingertips and palms holding the weight, and it's all distributed evenly, we are up on our toes, again drawing towards the heels, a soft bend in the knee, and driving our pelvis up towards the wall and ceiling. Your outer muscles, your arms are engaged in pressing down through the floor, and draw your chest towards your thighs as you continue to press the mat away from you, lengthening and decompressing the spine. Engage the quadriceps and rotate and continue to lift up your sit bones. Align your ears with your upper arms and relax your head without letting it dangle. Breathe here in our downward facing dog. Bringing your torso and legs into the shape of an A, keeping extension within the whole body. Draw your shoulder blades into your upper back ribs and towards your tailbone and widen across your shoulders and collarbones. Align your ears with your upper arms and relax your head without allowing the head to dangle. And gaze between your legs or towards your belly button, breathing here. When needing a break or taking the pressure off, just driving into a plank and then pressing back in to our dolphin pose.
All right, so now that we've done some of the base poses and we've learned the alignment of the body and how it should feel, and then when we flip it upside, you'll find that comfort. And we've also gotten comfortable with our head being below our heart and breathing through there. It's time to take the practice to the wall.
For extra stability and support as we begin headstands, we're going to either fold another yoga mat onto the top of our mat or a flat blanket to provide some stability and support. Then we're going to interlace the fingers, allowing the pinky to not get smushed underneath and the thumb on top. Taking the hands down to the floor and resting the crown of your head in between. Elbows flat on the ground, and finding adjustments here. It is different for everyone. Walking those feet up so your hips are stacked over the shoulders. That is where you're going to find your most stability to kick up when we do get there. So breathing through it and readjusting to find your perfect spot, since it is different for everyone. Once you've found that perfect position, lowering back down and sitting in child's pose to allow that blood to flow from the head. Coming right back into that head stability position with the elbows and head on the floor, we're going to walk our feet up and then slowly kick one foot up as the other is on the toe on the ground. Ensuring our hips are over those shoulders, keeping alignment. Exhale as you lift the foot, pointing the toe, and inhale, lower. This is engaging the core and assisting in finding your stability and your perfect position. Breathing through it, and when you are ready, lowering back down into child's pose. Again, interlacing those fingers and placing the crown of the head on the floor. Walk your feet up, hips in line with shoulders, bending your right foot, then the left, and lifting up into that curl up position. Allowing your toes to find the wall, the glutes hovering right against the wall, and everything else in line, that core tight, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you're ready, slowly lowering down, hovering the floor, and sitting in child's pose. Interlacing the fingers, placing the elbows and the head on the ground, and walking toe to toe until our hips are in line with the shoulders. We're lifting up those glutes and then tapping our feet to the wall. When you're ready, slowly releasing one foot at a time out, hovering towards the ceiling and back wall as the other toe remains on and against the wall. You'll find some stability here, and as you move, it may be slower or faster. The more control, the better. And when you're ready, slowly lowering down and back into child's pose. Finding our headstand position and stability, walking those toes up, hips in line with shoulders, and slowly kicking into a curl up. Tapping our feet together this time, both big toes interlaced. Slowly inhale, tap the wall, and exhale, come into a stability point where those hips are aligned with shoulders again. The more stability you find, the longer you will hold the freeze in the hover. When you're ready, lowering back to the floor and sitting in child's pose for your breath.
So now that we've practiced our walking up to the wall, aligning our hips with our shoulders, and getting our feet to the wall, we're to practice a headstand, just kicking up to the wall. In total, our end goal for today's beginner tutorial.
Starting with our stability of the head and neck and interlacing those fingers, we walk the feet up, hips in line with shoulders, and slowly kick to a curl up. Once you tap that wall, extending your heels towards the ceiling, heels lying against the wall, and slowly kick your foot up in line with those shoulders to be in a straight headstand position. All body parts aligned just like we are in mountain pose. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, hovering one foot, then the other. And when you're ready, slowly lowering down into that curl up position, tapping the wall and lowering all the way to the floor into child's pose.
Thank you all so much for joining me for today's beginner headstand tutorial. Again, we went through some base poses. We then kicked up against the wall and practiced our alignment. And then finally, we went into headstand against the wall. So really integrate these practices into your everyday activity. That way, as you practice more and more, you'll find more stability in your core, your shoulders, and your entire headstand, where we can eventually take it off the wall. So stay tuned to see more ways to practice a headstand. And if you've finished this or go through it in any way, please tag us on Instagram at NU Campus Rec. And I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you again soon.